Welcome to the Three-Legged Podcast.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
This podcast is gonna have background noise.
Fuck it.
All right. It's gonna sound like yours.
Raw. It's fucking raw.
Marikissima.
Triple chimbo.
Chimbo.
So,
Welcome
man,
to the
welcome.
Three-Legged Podcast.
Welcome, everybody.
It's gonna be a raw Three-Legged Podcast. Everyone's awake in the house. Everyone's eating and cooking and washing, doing laundry. So it might get a little loud and rowdy in here.
Fuck it.
But we'll survive.
Make them feel like they're part of the family. So, it is what it is.
That's like one of our biggest problems trying to record is trying to find time when we can record when everybody's asleep, and it's hard. And we end up not recording because it gets like super late.
Super late, or in the weekend people don't sleep.
Everybody's partying.
Right.
We try to record on the weekend. We'd be slurring our words I sound worse than I do now.
Oh man. Also, y'all lost power yesterday?
Yeah, the whole block lost. The whole block lost. But no, it wasn't bushing. We're getting ready for jiu-jitsu, and then right when we're going to walk out the door, Jonas comes back from the back. He's like, "We lost power," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Yeah, all the lights turned off. The room, the hallway." I turned around, the microwave's off. I didn't realize the TV was on, and it turned off, and the cable box is off. And I'm like, all right, well, fuck it, let's go. We're going to jiu-jitsu anyways. We don't need no power right now. I'm thinking it's going to be a quick little thing, right? So,
yeah.
You know, I dropped Genevieve off her friends down the street so that way she's not in the dark. And then I got a jiu-jitsu at like 8. What was it when I texted you? Like almost 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
And there was no power. There was Concord, the electric company, was out here, like 3 or 4 trucks just checking stuff. They said they told the neighbor that the neighbors were complaining about some weird popping noise.
Right.
That they kept on hearing. I don't know where the popping noise was coming from. This is just, who knows what they said. But really, apparently they were worried that there was something going on, so they cut the power off until they could figure out what was wrong. So I don't know if they figured it out. I don't know if they fixed it. Shit, for all we know, man, this shit could just blow right now. Fuck it.
They're just popping popcorn, man.
But it fucked up our recording night.
Yeah. Talk about popping.
What you popping?
So what's up with your
popping
gamers?
Rockin'?
Gamers not shooting people.
Popping line, man. They want to get in the game, dude. They want to make it realistic.
Yeah, but they weren't even playing Call of Duty though. They were playing Madden.
That motherfucker had PTSD from playing too much Call of Duty.
Oh, it's like, man, I know they really get into it, but you know, shoot people. So, and of course, apparently, old boy was in medicine. He was schizophrenic at one point because his parents got divorced or some crap like that.
It's weird, man. It's like it's too many. Think about it. There's a pattern. Pretty much everyone that's a shooter is on some type of medication, some type of fucking mental illness. But I mean,
I don't buy it.
I heard someone talking about that guy, that he was like really quiet, didn't talk much, didn't stay to himself, you know. That's a sign right there. And so, if you didn't talk to me, I would consider you a shooter.
Oh,
I'd be like, watch out, that motherfucker. Because like when we have a get together, you just stand in the corner and just look at people like you're some fucking bouncer or something. You have potential to be a shooter, motherfucker. We need to watch your ass. You taking medication?
Nah, not at all. I'm
Right,
taking BC powder. That's it. And
vapor rub. You snort that shit. And you snort that shit straight to the head.
Right.
I've seen you.
So no, I'm safe.
No, it's crazy, man. It's one thing. And I was talking to my coworker. He's a big gamer, and he was just like, man, it's like they've done it all. Like every place that you can think that you might get shot up at has been done. You know, gamers, stadiums, what else?
Movie theaters. Then the hospital one too? Wasn't that in California?
Yeah, hospitals. offices, fucking malls, everywhere. Nobody's safe nowhere, man. But I mean, it's fucking scary, man. I don't know. Makes you think every time you go out, man. When we go to parties, or we go, not parties, but we go to like the club, or we go to sporting events.
Right.
That shit's always in the back of your head. But at the same time, man, I'm not gonna stop living my life just because.
Just stay at home cooped up, and then somebody can just kick your door and still shoot you. So fuck it.
Still shoot you, man. So and you die bored watching Netflix at home.
Watch all the movies.
So fuck it. Go enjoy your life. Everyone's gotta go someday. So might as well do it. Having fun.
It's like they say, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Shit.
It's like Final Destination. It's Final Destination. You don't get it that day. You'll get it another day anyway. So. But that's fucking crazy, bro. I was pretty shocked. But then I saw the picture of that motherfucker. I was like, oh yeah, he looks like a shooter. You seen his picture?
Yeah. Typical white boy.
That's so fucking right. Typical white boy.
This doesn't look like a
typical white boy. No, he looks like a typical.
It's a pattern, though. Like you said, it's a pattern, and we gotta go there. We gotta go there. It's a fucking pattern. So, minorities can afford to go get therapy to be on pills all the time. We just deal with the crazies. That man, he's just crazy. Está loco, hello ahí. So. Just now that we're starting to see, like, oh yeah, he needs to go see the college. Before, it's like, you get an ass whooping, go to your room, and deal with it until you get older. And you don't go shooting people. So
those motherfuckers join gangs and shoot other people. Those motherfuckers shoot people nobody cares about.
No, I think the ones that join gangs are the ones that need a hug.
Oh, that's true. That might be true. They might need hugs.
They just need somebody to care for them. That's it.
That's a different type of mental illness.
Right. They just they wanted a Happy Meal. They didn't get it.
Yeah.
So
no. They need 3 meals. They needed structured home. They didn't have it.
Nah.
I was talking to somebody about that, and they're like, I don't know if I believe that. And I was like, man, there's got to be something to it. I mean, if you don't have parents that love you, you don't have people that love you. Not maybe just your parents. I mean, that's still traumatic too, right? You grew up without parents that loved you, and someone else has to step in and be your parent. I mean, at least you get the love, but it's never the same, right? On the back of your head. I guess naturally in the back of your head is like, why don't my parents love me, or why aren't my parents here? Why does someone else have to love me? And I guess you're always gonna have a percentage of people that are gonna let that fuck with them, or a percentage of people are gonna help them use that to help them get ahead. And like, what do you call it? Like dig their channel of success. No. What do you say? How do you say it? Build your lane. Build your lane.
Build your own lane.
Build your own lane.
Yeah, but no, it's like you talk about patterns, though. I mean, that was also a pattern. Like back in Turner, the pattern was that the dudes that you see that their parents didn't give a shit about their grades. They were always skipping school, doing whatever they wanted. Eventually, they dropped out of school because they could do whatever, and they ended up in the gang. I mean, that was just pretty much it. So they just want somebody to care for them, tell them what to do. Essentially, that's what the gang does anyway.
Yeah. I mean, gangs are a different form of social group, man. It's just a social group that believes in violence and doing illegal activities. But I don't. It's gonna sound fucked up, man. But at a certain point, gang is just another social group, just like your churches, just like your all your meetups. People have different social groups that they want to be part of because it gives them
a sense of belonging somewhere.
A sense of belonging somewhere. And that's really all gangs are, man. Military is the same way. A lot of people go to the military. Yeah, some people go to the military because they've always dreamed of being in the military, serving the country. For other people, it's just a sense of belonging. You look in the military, there's a lot of people that didn't have good structured homes, and they just want structure, so they go to the military.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same, it's just some are good, some are bad. So the good, military possibly, your chess clubs, your reading clubs. The bad, church, gangs. Those are the bad ones. Think about it, dude. Not much difference from the church and the gang. They rob, they lie, they cheat.
To a certain extent, I guess. Yeah, you can agree to it. I mean, they're only human.
They're only human, bro.
They're only human. They're not perfect.
Only the ones that pray to the to the fake gods.
So we
But yeah, it's just that's fucking crazy what happened over there, man. I was a little sad that happened at a gaming convention. I mean, it's like, oh, so did you see? I remember it was a high school stadium. It was a fucking huge ass stadium. I think it was in Tennessee, college high school football stadium, but it was like big. It was like a big stadium, and there was a fight that broke out, and then there was a rumor that there was gonna be a shooting. So everyone started freaking out and running, trying to hide and leave the stadium. Like
that's every fight.
The football players were running off the field. The coaches were running. They were pulling little kids off the stands to run into the stadium. People were leaving the stadium. It was like there was a fire. Like there was an actual shooting, but it was just a rumor that there might be a shooting.
Somebody screamed gun and everybody just
everybody freaked out and started running everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's the problem. Everybody's on edge now, but I mean, you think about it. Back in the day, there used to be fights that broke out and people pulled out guns and shot people, but it wasn't like they shot everybody, right? They
just shot whoever got near to get shot, or you might have one or two casualties with a lost bullet.
Yeah,
but they weren't just spraying everybody just because they wanted to spray.
Yeah, it wasn't like, fuck this, I'm pissed at the world and go shoot up the school or go shoot up the stadium or whatever, or the venue, wherever venue they were at. This guy was just a sore loser.
And I think it just goes back to, how sensitive everybody started to become, and you can't say that and you can do this. It's like they're just not being built for what life is once you become an adult.
Well, did you see I got in trouble today? I started getting in trouble today on that group text message that the family has.
No, I didn't.
You didn't see?
No, because I mean, I know you barely text. I know I don't text. But you got in trouble because you're being a bully.
So, you know your mama's husband, or I guess father-in-law, is
passing away,
old and ill, passing away, and so she started the morning off by like bringing that up, and so of course everyone naturally is like, oh, sorry to hear that and this and that, and so I like Juan, so I was like, hey, please tell Juan that Colombia is the best,
right,
and that we wish him the best. Meaning like, hey, we're here with you, but don't forget Colombia's still number one.
I get it.
She replied, don't you know that he's dying? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I said wish him the best. Like, we're here thinking about him, but I mean, he's like in a dark time. Like, you need to lighten him up.
Right.
Like, you need to bring some light to his darkness and, help him remember that there's still other things going on around the world, or in his life, not just his father's passing, I mean, but people just automatically react to.
Right. And I mean, I guess she didn't see the context in which she said it.
Yeah, she's probably stressed out, but I didn't get mad. I was just like, oh, here we go. Let me.
I was like, clean it up.
I'm gonna send one more. No, not even. I just said, hey, I wish him the best, but he's in a dark place right now, so remind him there's light. Yeah. I think she understood because she's like, all right, cool. Yeah. Dude, if my mom was dying and I knew of an inside joke, like there was an inside joke, and you came to me and said, hey, man, sorry. Let's say my mom died.
Right.
And I'm at the funeral and you come to me and you say, hey, man, sorry for your loss, man. If you need anything, I'll be here, but don't forget, Colombia's number one. Dude, I would start laughing my fucking ass off. Fucking ass. I was like, I need that laugh right now. But I mean, I get everybody deals with shit differently, and everybody feels differently about, certain things. People feel like they There's no air. There's no room for joking, right?
Right. Now, I mean, let me
But
ask you this though. I mean, we know that our body or our life comes to an end eventually, right?
mm-hmm.
Shouldn't, I mean, at one point do we like comprehend that it's like, okay,
Hold on, what?
at what point in our
Say it
life
again. At one point, what?
do we are we gonna be able to like comprehend or like reason with that our loved ones are eventually gonna die, right? Like, should everybody still prepare themselves as knowing that like your grandparents gonna die one day if they're of age? Like, I can understand if it's a dramatic death, like all of a sudden, but if it's coming to like, man, your great grandma is like 95, right?
Yeah.
And you love her to death, but it's like logically and physically, you know that she is going to pass away because she's already like old.
Mm-hmm.
Should you
I,
beat yourself up, or getting your feelings that much, knowing that you already know it's coming, right? Like, I see, I
yeah.
mean, everybody deals with it differently, but at the same time, it's like
Yeah.
that everybody dies,
Yeah.
you know. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, or especially kind of like if you see like your loved one, they're in the hospital sick, and they're suffering. Like, is it almost, to me, it's like it sounds almost like as selfish that you're going through all this grief and somewhat hurting yourself, and them seeing you like that also is not giving them peace either to go where they need to go.
Yeah. I think part of that is maybe we're part cultural, part religious, and part of an upbringing, right?
Right,
Like there's different ways to look at it because there's some cultures where they 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 cherish life, but they also celebrate someone's passing, right?
right,
And they don't mourn them like Westerners do this a lot. They grieve a lot and they get depressed and um, I don't think mentally we teach people how to deal with loss. You know, it's like something that we're never taught that. It's not a cultural. It's not a thing that's normal in our culture to think about people dying. Right? It's
right.
like almost like a taboo. But um, personally, man, I do that every day. I think I don't think about dying, but I'm always thinking like, all right, one day I'm not gonna be here. I gotta have my shit in order. I gotta make sure my kids and my wife know what I'm thinking every day. And I've had this conversation with my kids before, like, hey, I'm not gonna be here forever.
Right.
This is why I'm telling you this because there's gonna be a day where I'm not around anymore. You know, um, but I think it's something that we don't talk about. It's kind of like sex. It's a taboo. Don't talk about it, right?
Right.
Don't talk about it. It's not a normal conversation to have. And I don't think people get mentally prepared for someone's passing, especially when you know that's a high possibility that someone's gonna pass because they're older or because they're ill. You know, yes, when it's something happens dramatic, like an accident or someone dies out of nowhere, it's there's no way to prepare for that, right? But at the
Right.
same time, you got to know that that's always a possibility, and it's got to be in good standing with people, I think. But
Right.
I think it's yeah, man. I don't know. Do you ever talk to your kids about death, life and death? I
Mm,
mean, I know your grandfather recently passed away this year.
yeah. Well, you know what? Like, we haven't spoken like I guess directly as far as like me or Havila, but I mean they did kind of seen when Rob died, uh,
Hmm. Oh, that's right. You had your
and
brother-in-law
they
pass away
weren't
too.
really like. I mean, they were sad because they did knew him, and they had sort of relationship with him because he was always around whenever they go to the pool, whatever. Like, he was like there in his own way, but like the kids knew him, you know. Um, that's like the first death they have experienced, which is close to home, and I guess it kind of opens them eyes, like it's just seeing that people do pass away, because as a matter of fact, was it Monday or Thursday last week? Sayla came home saying that one of her classmates was talking about this little girl that had gone to a school that had passed away in the summertime. We're like, what? I was like, we didn't even hear in the news or anything, because usually if a kid dies, I mean, it's kind of like somewhat of a big deal. So she said the name of the little girl, but Sayla didn't know her, so she was trying to. All right.
So Sayla didn't know her.
Yeah, Sayla didn't know her, but she said the name of the girl, so I googled it, and sure thing, the little girl passed away in July of this year, this summer. Her dad, shot her and her brother and himself. We don't know why, but she passed away. So, but Sayla wasn't really like bothered by it. She was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened, and we kind of talked about like what happened in the story. So, Havala was like, well, we should tell the principal or something, because I mean, obviously these kids are talking about it, but the school didn't even send a memo or anything to, hey, this is what happened. The kids are talking about it. You do your job as a parent, talk to your kids. Just because, some kids aren't going to be as mature as that, especially if they knew the little girl. So I was shocked how kind of like nonchalant she was about the conversation. She was like, oh, yeah, we talked about it. She said what happened, and that was it. Haven't heard it since. But like you said, people here don't really think about death, or you see people, they mourn for like years over a death of somebody that is coming. Like it really doesn't make sense why, especially here, the people are so much into facts and science and all that.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Goofy ass Mexican little fucking wannabe Samoan jumping in halfway through the podcast.
Jumping in, man.
You killed the vibe, bro. We're talking about life and death.
It was getting dark. Look at the lights were dimming.
What's up, y'all? Testing.
You got the speaker on?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I didn't have my headphones plugged in. Forgot you need the headphones plugged in.
Yeah, because I hear myself.
You hear yourself now?
Hold up. No.
What's up, Andy?
What's good?
You hit the gym earlier?
No, I gotta go now. I can't be on for too long.
Oh, shit.
Little motherfucker. Did you get your fantasy picks in?
I'm going right now. It's about to be round 12 out of 16. I should just called earlier. I didn't realize that.
It was going to take forever?
Yeah.
Anyways, we were talking about life and death. The lady was talking about how people don't, like, nowadays people aren't prepared to talk about death, or it's hard for them to mourn their loved ones. It's like people don't get mentally prepared for that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Even though we know it's coming. It's like there is no way around it. Like, you're going to die one day.
So I had, a few years back, she wasn't in our family, but she was someone we knew, passed away of breast cancer. She was an older lady, but, I was talking to Genevieve about it, and she started thinking about the older people in her family, and she started getting sad, And started, she was younger, man. I'm telling you, she was probably like 13, 12 or 13, and she started crying, talking about she doesn't want, people to die. And so I had to have the serious conversation. I think that conversation was more serious than the sex conversation, with me. And it was like, I had explained to her how things change, and we have to get mentally ready, especially like you said, when people are getting older or sick. We have to make that a reality, in our mind, that that's going to happen. It's a possibility. So that way, when it does happen, you're at ease and you're not stressed out or freaked out about it, or you know how many people get depressed because their parents pass away or because a family member passed away. I mean, yeah, it's dramatic, but I mean, we know it's a part of life. So why are we gonna let it consume every single part of us to the point where we can't function anymore? You know, it's
Right.
just not healthy. It's just like one of the easiest things you can prepare for. It's not even there's like no answers to this test. Like this is like a pop quiz with no answers that all you got to do is accept it and you pass. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So as y'all know, our beloved mascot is getting old, and her cancer has returned. So that's another perfect example. I mean, it's an animal, right? And some people love their animals just like other people, but these kids grew up around this dog, so to a certain extent, I've used her as a learning experience for them to say, hey, look, this is a reality. We tried to save her once. It worked for a couple years. She's getting sick again. She's getting old. So enjoy her, feed her, play with her, love her, because I can't tell you when, but she's getting
It's
old.
gonna
She's getting ill,
happen.
and it's
Yeah.
gonna happen. So when it happens, you know, just think about all the good times you had with her. Remember her the way she was, and move on with your life. So I think more people should have that conversation. They should have more of the sex and drugs conversation and the death conversation with young kids and young adults, because people nowadays they're soft, man. They don't know how to deal with shit.
Yeah. And it all
But
depends too. I believe like if they've grown up and they've had their grandparents and they've had their aunt and uncle and like didn't really face anything like that, like a death. I mean, it's gonna be a lot harder on them because they've only known those people in their lives. Like, I remember growing up and when both my grandpas died. I mean, I was young, but I could feel the emotions. I felt everything and all that. So I was aware of what was going on, which I mean, like, kind of helped me like realize what's happening.
yeah, I think a lot of times we repress feelings or we just avoid talking about things, and that makes it worse, right? Because you just kind of like bottle it all up and then you blow up. But yeah, man, I think it's crazy how people don't talk about that and aren't realistic about life. Like it's gonna happen.
Mm.
Um, I remember. I think I've told you guys before, but like right now, like one of the things I focused on a lot is, you were young. We've lived. I mean, Andy's younger. Andy's young compared to us, but I mean, I'm in my mid-30s, right? So I'm in my mid-30s already, and I already have kids, and I already have a wife and a house and everything. And I got to a certain point where I'm thinking, like, man, I've done a lot of things a little backwards than the normal, right? Like, traditionally, you go to school, you get a career, then you get married, then you have kids, then you have a household, then you have kids, and you prepare for your retirement. You start working towards your retirement and raising your kids. And I've done it all types of different fucking ways. But one thing I realized was, if something happened to me, I'm not ready for my kids to be on their own, or my wife to have to handle the stress of being a single parent or a single income, right? So that's one of the things that the last 2 years I've been not getting ready for my death, but getting ready for an emergency where I'm like, hey, you know what? What the fuck have I been thinking? Like, I need to get ready, you know, get my get a savings account, not a savings account, a life insurance, yeah, savings account as well. Get my investments in order. Cut down on my expenses, get my debt to income down. I gotta save and set my wife up for success. If not success, but you know what I mean. It's like the last thing you want is to lose someone, and then after you lose them, life goes on, and everybody's knocking at the doors like, "Hey, we know that you lost someone, but
You
these
still gotta
bills
pay,
still need to be
motherfucker.
paid. You still gotta pay up, hey.
Still goes on, yeah.
Yeah, you still gotta pay the mortgage, and you still gotta pay your car payment, and you still gotta pay insurance, and you still gotta pay for this a funeral, and all these other shit that you don't want to deal with, But I think that's a part of reality. You just gotta remember, you're not gonna be here forever. So, you live balls to the wall. And you don't give a fuck about anybody after you pass away, or or you think about the people you're gonna leave behind, and you set yourself up. You know, I'm not saying stop enjoying life, because y'all motherfuckers know I enjoy life every fucking day. Ain't not a day that passes by that I'm not trying to make it the best there is, but gotta be realistic. I'm not gonna be here forever. So that's a conversation I have with my kids all the time, and my wife. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be forever. I gotta take care of this shit. There's certain things I gotta take care of that, you know, I'll have fun later. You know, I'll do that later. First, let me take care of this. Then we'll think about having fun. We'll think about going out, partying, certain things, you know, or spending certain money. You know, like, let's put that money here instead of spending it on this. Let's invest it here. Let's move that money here. You know, little things like that. I think we forget that we're gonna run out of time, and we're leaving people behind. You're single, you have nobody around, nobody depending on you. Fuck it, man. Go enjoy life, live it to the fullest. When you got responsibilities, you also got to think about that. Damn, this podcast took a dark turn.
Yeah, I came in at a dark part, man.
Motherfucker.
All because of that damn sore loser. Losing at the looking like, hey, I bet that motherfucker was pissed like Nathan was when he played Madden for the first time.
Which sore loser?
The one that shot everybody up in Florida. That's how we got started talking about life and death, bro. It got dark. It got dark quick.
I got dark real quick.
So what's up with this fight, man?
Let's a dark podcast. Let's end on that note. Let's end the three-legged podcast on that note, because I need to take a break and take a breather. This is sad.
God.
It's too sad for me.
Gonna go cry in the room real quick.
I'm gonna go cry in the room real quick. I'm gonna go make sure my life insurance. I'm gonna make sure Gina didn't up my life insurance, because that's another telltale sign I might die soon.
Oh shit.
All right, mariquísimas. Chloe, where can people find this podcast? Where can people share and listen and reply to us, inform us of things, hit us up?
They can share all the sad stories.
Taking too long to think.
And, you know, their memories at Three-Legged Podcast. That's the number 3-Legged Podcast at Instagram, Twitter. And also they can listen to this on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. Excuse me. So, you know, you can shoot us a DM, maybe a comment. Just make the Instagram pop, man. It don't take nothing but not even a second. You scroll into...
Go to Instagram, just go to our bio, click on the link. It'll take you straight to the Lipson page where you can listen to all the episodes. And from there, you can DM us, shoot us, follow us, and DM us, hit us up. And then share and repost, man. Don't be a fucking hater.
Don't be no hater.
Just tell a friend to tell a friend, man.
Tell a friend to tell a what?
A hoe. Hoes gotta listen too.
So need to eat and listen too.
Yep. Male, female, or cisgender alike. It don't matter. They all got ears.
we don't discriminate listeners.
Nope. Not here.
Just our sick partners. All right, bitches. That's a good three-legged podcast episode. Deuces.
Deuces.